nerds, Sarah the Vegan Hooper here. I hope you're having a very blessed day. It is time for a combo of the week. I have been messing around with a lot of behind the back tracers, and this is obviously one of the combos that I came up with. So prerequisites for this tutorial would be one of the inside to outside grip isolations, aka a whippet, I believe. And Babs Robinson has a tutorial for this that I will link in the description box below if you do not know how to do one of these bad boys. They're quite fun, so you could obviously do double whippets, so it's definitely a nice trick to know. So if you do not know how to do that, I won't really be explaining that on this little combo tutorial. So learn that, come back, and if you're having a beautiful day and you have a set of 2 hoops, then let's jump right in. Let's discuss what the left hand's doing for a minute, because what we're doing is we're doing this part. We do it twice, alright? So for the behind the back tracer, when you are doing an isolation and it rolls on the back of your hand for a quick second and then you grab it again, that's kind of the feeling that we're doing here. We are starting, first off, we are starting with both hoops together. Our wrists are towards each other. We have an inside grip. Our thumbs are pointing out. We are basically on wheel plane, but I lunge because it's easier to do a tracer that way behind my head, and because it makes this combo look cooler. So what I'm doing is going from wheel plane to wall plane so that I'm facing you, and then back to start, okay? So I'm at start with my yellow left hand. It's going to roll on the back of my hand. The hoop is going to roll on the back of my hand as I bring it from the starting point to my opposite shoulder, which would be my right shoulder, okay, or in front of it in this case, okay? So let go and drag, and my hand, my elbow, this part of my arm kind of stays the same. So it's the bottom half of your arm that's doing the work here, that's doing a nice clean drag and grab, okay? So I let go of my hand and I do not grab it again until it is in front of my right shoulder with my thumb pointing down, okay? Now in a normal tracer, which we will be doing in this tutorial, we then begin to trace, okay? So what I'm going to do is kind of put my head inside this little square that I've made here and trace the hoop from my right shoulder to mid back to left shoulder to above my boob and back out to start. Isn't it beautiful? It is such a beautiful move, especially with 2 hoops, okay? So this is a behind the back tracer, okay? Now, what our left hand is doing before the tracer is the beginning of the tracer, which is the let go part and grab. Now it's in front of my right shoulder. Then I'm going to let go and drag back to start to do it again. Okay, so it does this twice, but now the second time we are going to actually do the tracer, okay? But we're going to keep our hand here for now, okay? So this is what the left hand's doing. Okay? Now what the right hand is doing for this combo is basically a fold, so a hinge fold, but not quite. We're kind of going to do a smear, okay? So we want our hand, our right hand, at start the same way that we started with the left hand, except we're sort of just going to make a huge rainbow, like we're going to stir a pot or something. So all the way from one side to the dominant, or to the native side, okay? So from in front to the right side, then we're going to bring it back, and then we're going to do it again, okay? Pretty simple, right? But let's put it together, both of our hands. Wrists pointing towards each other, inside grip, thumbs pointing up, we're going to do the beginning of the drag while hinging. So they're chasing each other. Now we're going to go back to start. Then we're going to do it again. So they're chasing each other. Now this is the fun part, okay? Now what the left hand is going to do, you already know, is going to trace behind, okay, my head. But what my right hand is going to do is go from an inside grip to, what I'm doing is, what is this called? Bending my arm so that I'm going from an inside grip to an outside grip, okay? So I want to go from here, and I want to pretend there's a flat tabletop, and I want to just bend my arm. I still have an inside grip, I'm just doing a straight line here until I am basically in an outside grip. Basically back to start, except now I have an outside grip and my thumb is pointing down rather than up, okay? So if you go from this to this and you do not have your thumb pointing down, then you did it incorrectly, okay? So this hand does this, 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 push on a flat surface, make sure your plane is nice and clean, okay? And this just did, the left hand does that, 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 to that, okay? Let's put it together. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the same time, okay? Now from here, I'm going to just do outside to inside whip it, okay? And I want to end at 6 o'clock with my thumb pointing straight on my right hand, okay? So it just did this and a whip it. Now this pushing effect from my right side to in front of me is going to give it the momentum to do the whip it, okay? While I am doing this whip it with my right hand, what my left hand is doing, because it just did the tracer, it's doing the behind the head tracer while I'm pushing the hoop in front, okay? What my left hand is doing now that the behind the back tracer is done is pretty simple. It is going bend, straight, bend, okay? Not doing really anything. Bend, straight, bend, okay? You know how I said with the whip it you end at 6 o'clock? You don't. You actually end with your arm completely straight, with the hoop touching your right shoulder. Your right hand, after the whip it is completely done, you end at 10 o'clock, basically 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock with an inside grip, thumb pointing up, and it's by your right shoulder, okay? Okay? Okay guys, so let's discuss the right hand one more time. We are folding and then bringing back. Folding, keeping our plane straight, doing a whip it, oops, and ending with our right shoulder touching the hoop, basically, okay? And the left hand just did this bad boy, okay? Let's put this together. 1, 2. And by the way, when I'm doing this part, sometimes if it's easier, you can, because you're in a lunge, you could turn your hips towards the front so that you can really follow the hoops with your eyesight, okay? From here, we're going to trace and push at the same time. Now our arm is bent, and we're going to do the whip it, okay? And then from here is the fun part. I want to completely turn my body so that now I can easily do an isolation. And what I'm going to do with my left hand is fold the hoop behind me to do a smear, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Then turn to the front, fold the hoop, and do the gyroscope. Okay? That's the whole combination, guys. So let's try it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Trace and push. And when I'm tracing, it's actually touching my head. Okay? One more time, because it's so fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gyroscope. I know that was a whole heaping mess of things, but they're kind of essential moves that you want to be able to do, or I want you to learn, so that you could add it to your doubles work, okay? So keeping your planes straight while you drag it back, or doing just a simple behind the back head tracer, okay? From doing this Babs Robinson inspired whippet to a gorgeous gyroscope, okay? So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I don't even know if anything I said made sense, but definitely lunging will help, because just like our flowers, which I cannot do because I have low ceilings, just like our flowers, it's helpful to lunge so that you can move, swivel your hips, and you could stretch your back arm out, okay? Your back pedal out. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about how beautiful these two colors look together, okay? These are from my sponsors, Festival Treasures. I will leave a link in the description box. They're called Pink Lemonade together. Don't they look so awesome? I'm really into them. When I'm really going crazy, it just looks so sweet together. So yeah, definitely check them out, because they're having a lot of sales on their Etsy shop, and you could definitely get some good deals. Feel free to use my code VeganHooper for 10% off of your final purchase order. And if you want to learn anything, feel free to ask. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Maynard Keenan. And most importantly, spin your little butts off, guys. Definitely spend your winter spinning your hoops, so that when you finally can go outside again, at least if you live where it is cold, you cannot hoop outside. It is just, I feel like my polypros would break. I feel like I can't hoop with gloves and clothes on, but practice all winter long inside, so that when you finally can go outside, you'll be free and you'll have all these cool different concepts, okay? Because like I said before, do your same drills over and over again, and eventually you'll have that eureka moment where you'll do something beautiful. You'll turn your wrist differently, or you'll accidentally do something and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, you know? So practice does make perfect. Consistency does matter. I hope you have a beautiful day, guys. Peace, God bless you, and happy hooping. Mwah.